And there are the points, 20 points. Christian Cantwell heading for the diamond, heading for the win over the 7 events of this Diamond League program.
Well, the celebrations of Fira over there are well justified. 50.46 from the Russian to beat Debbie Dunn and McCrory, the 2 Americans in second and third. Good run that from McCrory, certainly beating Sherika Williams and Monchot and Novlin Williams. And well, when the Diamond League points are dished out, Fira over Dunn, McCrory 4-2-1 each. And the overall totals therefore put Alison Felix out in front, ahead of Monchot, that on win-loss record, Sherika Williams in third place.
Well, the long jump took place earlier on in this stadium, and Gomez in third place overall. Gomez really struggled. In fact, it was right at the very end of the competition. She came through with that 6.72, got 6.62 until then. Brittany Rees has been pretty dominant the last meets, one in Lausanne, one in Paris, a 7-meter jumper. Had 1 good jump and 3 no jumps overall. A white flag indicating a jump at 6 meters and 75. Not her day. But Daria Klishina of Russia is only 19, 5th in the World Indoor Championships earlier on this season, just to give you a statistic on her. But she has got a personal best of 7 meters and 3. That's a national junior record, a Russian national junior record. A little bit of backward rotation there, but still 6 meters and 78 was good enough to win. Well, there it is, 6.78 for Klishina, then Brittany Rees and Nadia Gomez, 6.72 in third place. I'll have a look and see what that does to the score. Oh, there's the Remainer, Carolina Kluft, finding a life pretty difficult, actually, in the long jump. World Olympic champion at heptathlon, of course. Very, very talented, and at home in front of a home crowd here. Well, there's the lineup for the 800 meters. Simmons, Wheating, Manzano, Michael Rimmer, Bandowski. So you've got the 2 European top medalists there. Kamel, Lang, Gebuna, Kaki. Let's watch out for him, the Sudanese. Yego. And it'll be paced by Davis Robinson, who will take on that pace from the outside. And we shall see here, but looking at the start lineup, Kaki must be the favorite. And this crowd very knowledgeable. Youssef Kamal, Bahrain, 1:42.79 he ran in 2008. Formerly Gregory Concella, a famous dad. And hasn't run much this season, been injured, I'm told, and ran in the mile in Eugene but didn't finish. Lewandowski, there's the European champion, drawn in the 4th lane. Just waiting to see. So we've got Simmons, Wheating, 2 Americans, then Mazzano, another American, the 3rd American. Wheating, tall figure on the left of your shot now. And Kaki right out in the 7th lane, just inside David Robinson, the pacemaker. There's Michael Rim on the right, but this is the European champion, Lewandowski. Already mentioned Yusuf Said Kamel, Bahrain. That's Kaki. Kaki is the favorite for me. Yego, Alfred Kewe Yego, the 800-meter world champion in 2007, got a silver in Berlin last year. And here's the man with the job of pacing this.
On your marks. Stand up.
So the men's 800 meters. I just wonder how Kaki will run this. When I first saw him in the World Indoor Championships a few seasons ago, he ran it from the front. That's his tactic. Will he do it here? Well, they've asked for 50 seconds for the first 400 meters. There have been an awful lot of very, very quick races this season already. And I see that Robinson's going to have to shift to get right up to Kaki and goes past him. And Lewandowski, the European champion, already making his presence felt. Diego in the orange strip. There's Robinson finally getting into the control position. The first 200 meters gone. It looks as though it's a pretty quick one, Tim.
It does indeed, yes. Beautiful conditions, Stuart. 19 degrees, absolutely perfect. Windless evening here in the Olympic Stadium, and every reason to believe these men can run fast. If the likes of Rimmer and Lewandowski can shake off the fatigue of last week at the European Championships, I'd like to see them really mix it here with the best of the Africans, although certainly Kaki on paper is a class apart as they come to 400 meters, and it is pretty quick. That's good pacemaking.
Yes, indeed. And Kaki is leading the trailing group. Also there is Lalang. Boaz Lalang, the Kenyan. He's a 143 man too. So he's in the second place in the race proper at the moment. And they've really, Lewandowski's come through on the inside. They've allowed him through. There's a little bit of a gap opened up. Michael Rimmer's in about sixth place at the moment. And now the pacemaker's gone and the race is on, and Lewandowski, the European champion, has taken this on. The confidence that comes from running a championship record or championship performance in Barcelona. Kivuna coming fast on him, Lang on the near side. Lewandowski, Kivuna's coming very strongly as well. Well, look at this, Lewandowski. Lewandowski's going to take it. Justin Rimmer in second place. What a finish by Rimmer. Kaki lost a shoe, incidentally, but what a good run once again by the two Europeans. And Rimmer hardly got a mention until the final stages, but what a very fast last 200 or 300 meters, 1:45.09. The first 400 meters was about right, and as they came off the final bend, well, look at this.
Well, Lewandowski very, very confident after his win last week, and he's won a relatively slow race there. Rimmer coming back at him so strongly, almost a replay that of European Championships. The Pole and the Briton 1-2, the Africans behind them. Kaki stumbling off the track there at the top of the bend with about 150, 170 to go. I think must have got his heel clipped, but even the fast finishing American there coming through, Simmons, couldn't stay with the two Europeans who are in such fine fettle. Really good to see.
Well, Lewandowski, I mean, to come off a major championship and to beat the people that he beat here, including Kaki, who obviously had his problems, they were closing down in the final stages. Let's have a look at the final stages of this. Kivuna, good junior, came through to the World Championships. He was 9th in the World Championships. There's Kaki losing the shoe and moving away. The favourite gone. And Lewandowski showing some real strength. He's got a best this season of 1:43.84 in Monaco. But Michael Rimmer, a lot of credit, a good tactical brain for Michael Rimmer. Just can't quite beat this fella, though. Good race.
Stuart, I'm just looking at Kaki. He's just walked down the length of the home straight and crossed the line in front of us. I can't see that he's got any cut or anything. I don't think he was clipped. It might have been his heel was clipped from behind. It was very unclear in that those shots.
Well, just earlier on this evening, the heats for the 100 meters I mentioned it. Oh, actually went and long jumped earlier on, incidentally, to try and score some points. She's a 690 jumper in long jump. She's pretty good all round. The American Championships, she achieved that. Attempting now 1:94 for the first time. No one clear at this height thus far. Vlasic just had two clearances, one at 185 and one at 190, so she would be next to jump. Ooh, just clipped it. She's had a very good season, actually, Lowe. She's set a new American record at 2:05, winning the United States National Championships this year. Lots of confidence coming from... She's been second, really, right throughout this Diamond League series, behind Blanka Vlasic. So Vlasic will have seen that. Well,
They continue on, just a couple of laps gone in this women's steeplechase. Zarodnieva there, the European champion from Russia, very much to the fore, towers over the Africans around her. The quickest race this year was in Rome, of course, where both Chewa and Kip-Kemoy set those very quick times. But interesting that Marta Dominguez and Zarodnieva are third and fourth on the year's list. It's still a developing event, the women's steeplechase. Not the same strength and depth as, let's say, 800 or 1,500 metres on the world scene.
Well, we promised you Blanka Vlasic, and here she is. She's seen Chantillo fail at this height at 194, the European champion, in championship winning form again recently. And that was not just a clearance, that was a significant clearance, wasn't it? That was way, big striding, lolloping approach, good driving inside knee that gives that beautiful arch and clearance of the bar. So that's the lead thus far. Early days, though.
Well, I went through the first kilometre a little out of schedule, outside of schedule. The pacemaking by Hyman a little awry. It was 3:04.4 at 1 kilometre. They were looking for around 3:01, 3:02, remember. Now they need to push on, and this middle section of the race. Also often we see the race is set up well with a quick first kilometre, and then it slackens in the middle. But if they can push on here, with Zarodnieva there, very much making a presence felt amongst the Kenyans. It's Kip-Kemoy who leads. They come into the straight. Zarodnieva, good flat speed too, Zarodnieva. The Russians make a point of ensuring that they're steeplechasers, with Rotic there in third place, making sure of ensuring their steeplechasers have very good flat credentials too.
Emma Glenn from Sweden. Her attempt at 1.94 m. Just Vlasic clear. Well, that was a good clearance as well. Now, she's actually going quite well at the moment. Just looking at her performance in the European Championship, she got the silver medal with a personal best of 2:01, so she is in form. Took a couple of attempts at 1.90.
Well, Zarodnieva just moved through on the inside there, I think, feeling the pace was slackening a bit. And I don't know if the European champion is getting a little impatient with his pace, but certainly it didn't really pick up once the pacemaker, Marja Hyman, had dropped out. But this second kilometre, well, after a 3:04, you'd be looking for something pretty similar at the second segment, the middle segment of this race. We're looking for about 6:08 at 2 kilometres. Obviously, they're best parts of 300 metres or so away from that just yet. But these 6 athletes locked together.